Joining us on the show is Chucky Hepburn, Raptors point guard here, signed to the two-way. So you had to work out with the Raptors. How was the workout with the Raptors? Because I feel like you always have to have a great workout if you're going to end up with that team. So what do you remember from that workout with the Raps?
Yeah, it was a bunch of great guys in the workout. Right away, you could see the culture they were establishing, and what they were looking for in a player. And I knew right away that I fit that type of player that they wanted. Just being a dog defensively, and leading the team on the offense, especially as a point guard.
Yeah. So I think, first and foremost, anybody who does any research on you, they're going to find out that you're a great defender. That's something that you've really put a lot of focus on. Walk me through your process in terms of how you study on defense. You know what I mean? Between the film work, who you watch, sort of your own film, obviously, everything like that.
Definitely. Since I've been in the high school, I've done my own film, especially on other players that I'm guarding. But it just starts with just being the more of a dog than the other player. It is just trying to outdog the other opponent, and use my strengths and advantages against the other player. And I'm really quick with my feet. I'm really quick with my hands. So just try to disrupt as much as I can.
Yeah, I don't know, because obviously you're busy playing and everything like that, but at the same time, when you watch the NBA, who do you like to watch on defense? In terms of when I watch him, I take some things out of these guys.
Yeah, Jose Alvarado's one.
Okay.
Just like a short guard that just defends the hell out the ball. And
are you gonna hide behind a coach and then come back?
Nah, I'm about to say that's something unique. Everybody has their own unique things that they do, and obviously what he does is very special. But
okay.
There's a lot of guys in the league that Jamal Shead's one of them. My last year of college, I told him this already too, but that was a standard to go play like him.
Oh, really?
Be a dog defensively, and just control the game. From point guard standing, and be the best player in the defensive player in the country. So that's one of that was one of the standards for my into my senior year.
What did you like about the way Jamal played defense?
He was just a dog. Picked up 94 feet, just wearing out the other team's point guard, wearing out the other best player on the other team. So, when you have that mentality going into the game, it don't matter who steps on the floor. He's going to try to outdog the other player.
Right. I mean, and Houston was doing crazy stuff like that, weird zones and stuff like that. And he was always making we saw it in his rookie year with the Raptors. He had a bunch of deflections, everything like that was perfect. I heard there's another Raptors point guard that you have a connection with, Fred VanVleet.
Uh-huh.
What's the story there? What's the connection?
Yeah, I met him going into my sophomore year that summer. My coach at Wisconsin had set it up for me because that was my player camp at the time, and he kind of just wanted to get him to mentor me a little bit, and worked out with him a couple times. Went down to Rockford, where he's from, and just hung out with him. He took me through a whole bunch of stuff. How he played in the G League, worked his way up, and now he's one of the most highest paid players, undrafted players. So I think that's one of the best mentors I could have for me in my journey, and I'm blessed and thankful to be able to have him.
Don't you feel like it's a little meant to be then, that you're here with the Raptors? Because you're modeling after Jamal Shead, you're modeling after Fred. That's long before you knew you're going to end up here,
Definitely, yeah. I definitely feel like it was meant to be, the type of players that Toronto wants, that it's the type of player I am. So, I'm blessed to be here. Thankful for the opportunity, and, it's just time to get to work now.
Right. I was watching watching some interviews of you. If you search your name on YouTube, and one of them I was kind of stunned because it was it's a bad memory really, but it's your last game, last year at Louisville, and you guys losing the NCAA tournament, and you're in tears afterwards, but you were just so thankful for the opportunity. You said that really breathed life back into your love of basketball. Obviously, it was your best year ever too. Of course, your defensive player of the year, first team all conference, everything like that. And then I was looking at the comments. I don't know if you ever look at the comments of some of this stuff.
Nah, I don't.
But you should, though, because all the comments are just Louisville fans saying, they're so grateful that you brought back that hope and that pride back to that program. When I say this to you now, and I want to take you back to this moment, what's coming to mind for you?
Yeah, Louisville fans, put a whole bunch of confidence back in me, as did the program as well. Just everywhere I go out in Louisville, it's just fans showing love, asking for pictures, telling me how much, I meant to the city, and that's what the team's goal was, to go in that 1 year and just change the city, go and make an impact, the impact that we had on kids' lives. We wanted kids to be able to, have basketball dreams in Louisville. So, just the impact we made as a team and as a group, it was something special and something that will always be remembered.
That's really beautiful. I think I didn't even realize this, but you guys won 27 games last year. That was more than the previous 3 years combined.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about bring the program back, like that's obviously a huge impact. And I'm sure, like, I can see you smiling right now. Those are all sweet memories, for you personally. Going back even before college, though. So I guess I don't see this a lot, but I don't see a lot of players from Omaha. Tell me about sort of how you grew up and everything like that, and your hometown and everything.
I think this year's draft class was probably the most like Omaha kids that signed the contracts, in the NBA in 1 year. So, it's been great. Growing up Omaha, kind of overlooked. So, that's kind of where I get my mentality from. We got to do the little things on the court that stand out, and just try to outdog the next opponent, because we got to stand out in some way. And like I said, Omaha is overlooked. So. That's like me, Hunter Salas, John Sanjay, there's other kids, St. Thomas, Frankie Fiddler, there's so many kids out in Omaha that are dogs, and, just trying to go put on for the city.
Yeah, I like that. That's actually really cool that you guys are all coming up together at the right time. You never know how these things happen. One other thing I found out about you too was, so you were homeschooled until grade 8.
I knew you were about to say that.
Is this like a widely known thing? Like everyone knows this, or tell me the story here. Like what's?
Nah, not everybody knows this. I was homeschooled up until 8th grade. I took one class at Warren Buffett's middle school in Omaha, Nebraska. One class the first semester, and then for the next semester. So it was just a thing. My parents saw how the world was changing back then, so they just kind of kept me and my brother at home, kept us out of trouble. And, looking back, it was probably the best thing for me. But if you asked me as a kid, I probably would have told you I hated it.
I was going to say, because you probably want to go chill with your friends every day.
Exactly. But, looking back, it was probably the best thing for me. And, more than blessed and thankful for my parents for them to put me in that situation.
So who was a harder teacher, your mom or your dad?
My mom was the only teacher.
Oh, it was the only teacher.
It was my mom. My mom was the teacher. She was a really chill teacher, I would say. Real laid back.
That's really nice, man. That's really, honestly, like, I think you have a really cool journey, right? Because it's like all kind of unorthodox, but you're at this point here. You're obviously the part of this rookie class right now with Elijah, who we just talked to, and also with Colin. I don't know how much time you got to spend with those guys so far, but what are your first impressions of hanging out with them?
Yeah, I actually met Elijah in my at a workout earlier in June. We had a workout together. And
wait, were you guys working against each other? Or like?
No, we were on the same team.
Okay.
Yeah, we were on the same team, and we were both being dogs in the workout, and we both loved playing with each other from that. And we had an extra day that we both stayed in the city, and we kind of just hung out with each other, went to explore downtown a little bit. So we already had kind of that bond, and got to get to know each other more a little bit. And same with Colin, just been getting to know him more, and as time's going on, we're just keep building that bond.
Right. Well, I mean, the rookie class, like you know how close Kobe and like Jamal and like Jonathan Mobo and like, bro, they're like always hanging out together. So whoever you end up getting drafted together with, or you come up in the rookie year with, like those are your guys forever.
Exactly.
So I wish you the best of luck, obviously with the Raps, and we'll be seeing a lot of you. Chucky Hepburn, I appreciate your time.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thank you.